According to some experts in surveys, as many as 70% of Americans are now gluten intolerant. It's not a new thing. Gluten intolerance was recognized 4,000 or 5,000 years ago by the Egyptians and the Greeks and the Chinese and so forth, and they published it in their papyri and their various books and writings and clay tablets. So again, gluten intolerance and its side effects are not a new thing, but there's a new look at it. Many diseases, let's just take something as simple as diabetes, type 2 diabetes, which is a simple mineral deficiency disease. Can be generational. You get 5, 6, 8, 10 generations of people in your family with type 2 diabetes. The doctor said, well, there you go, it's genetic. Well, it's not true. This is because gluten intolerance is passed on from mother to daughter and sons, and then the daughter then passes it on to her children, passed on through cord blood, gluten intolerance. And I believe this is kind of an inborn error metabolism, where people are missing pieces to be able to process gluten properly. And so you get a contact enteritis, which means kind of like a contact dermatitis. When you get poison ivy on your skin, because of the chemicals in the poison ivy, you get a dermatitis. And the same thing that happens when you have a gluten intolerance. When you eat gluten, you get a contact enteritis. Enteritis is a name for inflammation in the intestines. So I want everybody to contact our Longevity Associate and ask for the book Epigenetics, ask for the book Rare Earths Forbidden Cures, ask for the book Immortality. Those 3 books really cover the concept of passing on information through a gluten intolerance situation from females to their children, females to their children. Males get it, but they don't pass it on because they don't have pregnancies. Then once you get a hold of the book Hell's Kitchen, which talks about gluten intolerance from the standpoint of why people who are gluten intolerant become obese. You say, well, if I can't absorb things, how can I be obese? You can absorb calories, but you can't absorb nutrients, which then aggravates the being overweight and obesity situation and makes you more obese. Okay, it's a nutritional deficiency. And then, of course, the CD serial killers tells you all the hidden places you're going to find gluten. So, in fact, I had one person today call me. It's a woman who's 300 pounds. Her 2 children are 300 pounds. Both the children have emotional problems. And, of course, doctors wanting to institutionalize them. All of a sudden, the other, they have diabetes. And so what's going on here? Well, they have a gluten intolerance. Mother had irritable bowel syndrome, which is a gluten intolerance, and she's passed gluten intolerance on to her children. And because they didn't get proper nutrition supplements, their absorption rate was way, way down because of the damage done to their intestines because of the contact enteritis from the gluten intolerance. They can't absorb nutrients, and, of course, then when you have emotional problems, anxiety attacks, panic attacks, violent behavior, depression, schizophrenia, psychoses, you ask a psychologist or a psychiatrist what causes these things, they'll say, well, it's chemical imbalance. And they proceed to give you chemicals. Actually, what it is nutritional deficiencies. The brain requires all 90 essential nutrients, just like every other tissue in the body, the liver and the heart and the lungs and kidneys and muscles and so forth. The brain requires all 90 essential nutrients. Doctors have the pea-brain belief that your brain only requires sugar. Well, it's a fuel. It's good. The brain also can use fat, but just to function properly, it needs all 90 essential nutrients. So it's not unusual for people who are nutritionally deprived. I'm not talking about calories as much as I am the 90 essential nutrients, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. And that's why we have the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Got to call it by the right name here, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. And it has all the nutrients necessary to make a happy brain, happy behavior, happy socialization, and also memory, so forth. You need these nutrients for your brain to function properly. And again, the 90 essential nutrients, I like the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. And I like to throw in the de-stress capsules because it does have all the nutrients necessary for the metabolism of the brain. So you can process sugar and carbohydrates and fats properly. And I also like the Smart FX, which has the DHAs and EPAs, the raw materials for your neurons, your brain cells, to make neurotransmitters for memory, cognition, sociability. And so this is a process. You want to take care of your brain? Be gluten-free. You want to take care of your heart? Be gluten-free. You want to take care of your liver? Be gluten-free. You want to avoid birth defects or at least significantly reduce them? Be gluten-free. None of these things are genetic. They're all nutritional deficiencies. And again, The book Epigenetics goes into that. The book Epigenetics shows you where your DNA and your genes require nutrients as cofactors to function properly. You're missing these nutrients. Your genes and your DNA cannot function properly, and so you get predictable diseases. And, of course, many of them are reversible after the baby's born. Some of them is a surgical case, like a cleft palate and belly button hernia and heart defects. These are surgical problems after the baby's born, but they're totally preventable before conception. It's an amazing thing. We've eliminated all these diseases in animals, and I began to, in 1977, actually put all this stuff to work for humans. It's an amazing thing. Contact your Youngevity associate today and ask for the book Epigenetics. The subtitle is The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, book Rare Earths and Cures, book Immortality, the CD Serial Killers, and you'll know how to take care of every disease that doctors are saying is genetically transmitted when it's really just a gluten intolerance from generation to generation causing malabsorption of limited amounts of nutrients. Well, stick with us. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie, more truth, justice, and the Youngevity way after these messages. Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us?
Well, I thought we'd talk a bit about type 2 diabetes, as I've got a CNN story here headlined, Diabetes Doubles Over 2 Decades. And this was all published in the Annals of Internal Medicine. They say that prevalence of diabetes in the U.S. has nearly doubled in the past 2 decades. Study authors found that there's been a rise in diabetes from 5.5% of the population to 9.3% of the population over the last 20 years. And this actually paralleled the growing rate of obesity in America. They say better screening tools such as the A1C diagnostic test also help physicians identify diabetes more readily. And they said in 1988, about 16% of individuals who met the criteria for diabetes were not diagnosed by a physician. They say that number fell to 11% by 2010. And they said that was because the number of total diabetics had increased to nearly 21 million. Study authors say the number of estimated undiagnosed cases is around 2.3 million, and that has remained the same over the last couple of decades. And according to Dr. Martin Abrahamson, who is not part of the study, says, my hope, and obviously everyone's hope, is that the 11% will go down further as there is improved access to health care for all Americans. Experts are predicting the number of Americans with diabetes will reach 44 million by 2034. And I would say, Doc, that if we could get everybody in America on a healthy heart and brain pack or a healthy blood sugar pack, that doesn't have to happen.
You're exactly right. None of this is genetic, and as we mentioned during the monologue, generational appearance of diabetes is not due to genetics. It's due to gluten intolerance. And, of course, we've known for 70 years, Doug, that type 2 diabetes is due to a single nutritional deficiency of a mineral. You take the 90 essential nutrients, throw in a little bit extra of that mineral, take your fasting blood sugar every morning before you medicate yourself, and as your blood sugar drops, and it will, you can reduce your medication. You get down below 100 in American terms or down below 5 in Canadian terms, and you're an ex-diabetic. You do have to stay on the 90 essential nutrients in the form of the healthy blood sugar pack, 1 per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Give your body all the raw materials it needs to maintain itself. And just think of how much money we can save if everybody were to do what we say when it comes to type 2 diabetes, the metabolic syndrome, which is diabetes, belly obesity, and high blood pressure. All of these things are due to nutritional deficiencies. And so, unfortunately, Doug, there's no laws requiring a doctor to cure you when there's a cure available. And so, of course, what they do is they treat you. I mean, if they were to cure diabetes in, say, a period of 3 to 6 weeks, the doctor makes about $300, the pharmacist makes about $300, that's it. But if they treat you for 25 years with all the leg amputations and joint replacements and blindness and cardiovascular disease and all the complications of type 2 diabetes, they make $750,000. So why would they only take $300 when they can make $750,000 for the same patient? Just difference of philosophy there. Well, guess what? We have to, as parents and grandparents, save our kids and grandkids and nieces and nephews and neighbors and workmates and so forth. If we do these things, we will save America. We'll save Canada. We'll save Europe. We can do that by eliminating unnecessary medical costs. Right now, 30 cents out of every dollar is billed for fraudulent reasons, either stuff that wasn't done or things that were done that you didn't need. 30 cents out of every dollar. In America, each year that amounts to $750 billion a year, one-third of a trillion. Or two-thirds of a trillion. Three-quarters of a trillion. Well, stick with us. We'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Longevity Way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Canada. And Brenda, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Brenda. You're on.
Hey, Dr. Wallach, hi.
Hi.
Hey, Dr. Wallach, we met in Camrose. You were speaking there 2 weeks ago, this past Saturday. My dad is a World War II veteran. You told me to call back in 2 weeks, so here's a brief update. He's physically getting stronger from the Healthy Start Pack. We noticed a difference in about 4 days, which is wonderful, so I want to thank you very much for that. He still has this chronic cough and mucus and runny nose, and we're having difficulty getting essential fatty acids into him because he's having issues with swallowing. So I'm not sure if it's related, the cough is related to his gallbladder, or if it's related to swallowing and he's aspirating, because he has the chronic cough, the mucus in the chest sometimes, and a runny nose.
Sure. How much does he weigh?
My dad weighs about 150 pounds.
Okay. And let's see here. Remind me, does he have any skin problems or eczema or dermatitis?
No, he doesn't have any skin problems.
Okay.
No.
Does he have any wheezing or respiratory problems added to all his upper respiratory stuff, such as like asthma or bronchitis?
I don't think he has asthma, but he does have problems breathing. Like, I'd say that he does have some problems breathing.
Okay. So, and because of his chronic cough and the mucus, here's what I would do. If he has trouble swallowing the omega-3 essential fatty acids, of course, we have different sizes. We got 1,000 milligram EFAs, 1,000 milligram EFA pluses, and we have 300 milligram Smart FX. These little soft gel capsules of Smart FX are about the size of a pea. And if it's a matter of size, he can certainly swallow the Smart FX, little 2-year-old swallow them. If he can't, these little soft gel capsules can be punctured and the liquid contents squirted in some food that he's going to eat, whether it's applesauce or drink or juice or something. He needs, guy his weight with his problems, he needs to be gluten-free. He needs to be on 9 of the EFAs a day. This would be 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner. And this is going to take a little bit of effort to make sure all this happens. You're going to have to figure out ways to puncture those capsules and get them into your dad by putting the liquid into some other liquid or applesauce. And you can do it. But make sure he's gluten-free and call me every couple of weeks. We'll be back after these messages.
Let's head to Michigan. And Lindsay, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Lindsay, you're on the air.
Hi, Doctor. Thank you for taking my call. First, I want to say I love your show. I listen every day.
Well, thank you.
And you saved my life. Since I got off the 10 bad foods and longevity products, I lost 85 pounds.
Wow.
No longer have seizures, bipolar, depression, or ADD, and I'm not scared to talk to people anymore.
Well, congratulations. How long did it take you to do all this?
A year.
Okay, and how long had you been sick?
My whole life. I'm
how old
23.
You're 23. Okay, so, and how many doctors had you seen, you think?
Probably 5 or 6.
And they didn't know about the bad foods or the 90 essential nutrients, did they?
They probably knew. They just wanted my money.
Ah, okay. That's why only dead doctors don't lie, right?
Exactly.
Okay, Lindsay, how can we help you today, dear?
Well, my friend's mom and stepdad, her stepdad is 200 pounds. He's 50 years old, and he has testicular cancer.
Okay. All right. Okay, anytime you have cancer, of course, you have a life-threatening situation, right?
Exactly.
So this is serious, serious business. But 200 pounds, and I'm assuming he's had surgery.
Diana, has he had surgery? Do you know?
Yes, he has.
Yeah, usually when somebody has testicular surgery, they do surgically remove the testicles. That's the way they deal with that. And if they catch it early enough, that renders a cure. Now, has this cancer spread to his lymph nodes or any other organs that you know of?
That's what he's going in to be checked to see if they have.
Okay. Yeah, very good. So, yeah, we need to know that. But in the meantime, there's certain basic things you'll want to do, because once you get one type of cancer, your body is susceptible to others, because these cancers, of course, like to attack a body that's weak, right? And so what we want to do is get rid of all the bad foods. And here's a case where Lindsay is an expert at this, so she's been very successful at it. But the short version of it is absolutely no fried foods, because they turn into trans fatty acids, heterocyclamines, acrylamides, all of which can cause cancer, drive existing cancers. So absolutely drop dead, no fried foods. Absolutely drop dead, no processed meats with nitrates and nitrites. Particularly nitrates and nitrites are bad for prostate cancer, testicular cancer, colon cancer, and both men and women. And so it's essential to stay away from deli slices, sandwich meats, sausage, ham, bacon, bologna, salami, pastrami, pepperoni, jerky, that kind of stuff. You also need to stay away from oils. That means no olive oil, no coconut oil, absolutely no margarines, mayonnaise, salad dressings, cooking oils. If you eat canned fish, it's fine, but they got to be packed in water, mustard, tomato sauce, not oil. And then I'd also throw in no gluten, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats as part of the bad food stuff, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats. And then for a 200-pound guy, I would be a little heavy with stuff. I would give him 2 healthy start packs per month, 1 full dose of everything at breakfast and dinner. That's 1 ounce of the Osteo FX Plus at breakfast and dinner, 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 NutriCrystals at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFAs at breakfast and dinner. And then hang on. We'll come back and try the rest of his program after these messages. And Doug, let's go right back to Michigan and Lindsay. And let's see here. In addition to the 2 healthy start packs, which give them the basic nutrition to, again, support just the body's basic needs for all 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. There's a couple of other things that are universal to support the immune system, which is one of your best friends when you have cancer. Shar, are you there? Hello, Shar.
Earth to Doc.
Okay, very good. There you are. Okay, Shar, what would you recommend for this fella who has a known cancer, has had surgery, and we've got him on the 2 healthy start packs for the basic nutrition? What would you do to support his immune system in a very, very strong way?
Well, first of all, he should take selenium, obviously, and he should take the triple treat chocolate to get the 100,000 ORIC points every day, and or Cell Shield RTQ.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Excellent.
And I would take also the Z Radical.
All right, excellent. Okay, so his size, having known cancer, I would have him take 9 of those selenium a day, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner, in addition to the 2 healthy start packs. That would be 3 bottles a month. Then the healthy, Cell Shield RTQ, 5 twice a day, be good for a guy his size. That's come in bottles of 60, so it's, I think, 5 bottles a month to pull that off, because they're little bottles. And the triple treat chocolate, he could take 6 of those a day, 2 at breakfast, 2 at lunch, 2 at dinner. As you say, that either one of those will get his ORIC points above 100,000, which is a measurement of how many free radicals are neutralized with the antioxidants in their diet and so on. And the Z Radical, great way to support the immune system through the fucoidan. This is an extract from red marine algae, and it's one of the reasons why the Japanese have such a significant reduction in rate of cancer compared to people who do not eat these things. 840 research projects on this one plant extract, and it's about as vegetarian as you can get. And so, good suggestion, Sharon. If you would, Lindsay, keep us informed as soon as you find out if I'm sure he's getting like a PET scan or something like that. Find out if this cancer has spread before they did the surgery. Either way, let us know, and we'll walk you guys through this. Again, Lindsay, thank you so much for sharing your testimony. You will be a great beacon of hope for many, many people. Look forward to hearing from you. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to Buffalo, New York. And Glenn, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Glenn, you're on the air.
Dr. Wallach.
Yes,
Pleasure
sir.
to speak to you. I'm calling on behalf of my wife.
Okay.
She's 51. She's about 110 pounds. And the last 15 years, she's been diagnosed supposedly with fibromyalgia, and she has anxiety. And within the last 15 years, she's probably seen at least 25 different physicians, specialists, even the prestigious one down in Cleveland. Nobody has helped her. They like to give her this poison candy, and either turns into a werewolf or a hibernating bear, one or the other. She's fatigued after just going shopping, making a little cooking at home. She got aches and pains for the last 15 years. The foggy brain, she despises most of all. Digestive problems, whatever. Like I said, she can't eat bread. And just, after 15 years, you get tired. Nothing has changed.
Exactly.
She's on clozapine right now for the anxiety, and I don't know if that works, or the Cymbalta. I personally don't think that works.
Okay, well, tell me, does she have any skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, rosacea?
Yeah, she itches a lot. I mean, it comes and goes, but she does have skin problems, and her hair falls out now and then, pretty much.
Sure.
She's got a lot of other symptoms too, yeah.
Well, would you say she's had 18, 20 different diseases?
Say that again?
She has 16, 20 different symptoms and diseases?
I could easily say this, yes.
Yeah,
Vertigo,
okay.
I'm just saying, she has plenty.
All over the place. Okay, does she have any children? Do you have children together?
We have 3, and then one of my sons has anxiety and OCD too.
Well, there you go. Okay, now, Shar, are you there?
Oh, yeah. There's no question it's a gluten intolerance. Absolutely 110%.
Yeah, 110%. Exactly right, Shar. It's an A+. 25 different specialists and doctors, and they've missed this. Did they miss it because they're stupid? No, they're very smart. Did they miss it because they're ignorant? No. I can't be the only one. Shar can't be the only one that knows what this is. This is a simple gluten intolerance. I'm sure most of these doctors know this, and they're just milking you as an ATM machine. And they've let your family suffer unnecessarily for the bucks. Okay, so here we go. Shar, what would you do for this lady?
Well, first of all, she needs to be on a drop-dead gluten-free diet. Absolutely.
Which includes Glenn, right? The whole family, everybody in the household, including the dog and the cat, has got to be gluten-free.
Yeah. And then she should get on the healthy Start Pack 2.0.
Okay.
One should do it because she only weighs 110.
Okay.
So,
very good. So, one healthy Start Pack. I would also give her the de-stress capsules because of the fatigue and all that other stuff. I'd throw the de-stress capsules in. I'd give her 3 of those twice a day. It'd be 2 bottles a month. And does she have any high blood pressure or anything like that?
No. The doctor actually once told her she did, and they gave her some medication. It went so low that they took it off her.
Yeah. What about any diabetes?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just go with that. Let's give her one healthy Start Pack to begin with, and let's have her take 2 bottles a month of the de-stress capsules, 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner, and then call us every 2 weeks. I want to know her blood pressure. I want to know her behavior. I want to know how well she sleeps. I want to know her weight. And, of course, there comes a time when, Einstein said insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. So it's time to give up on all these other doctors, kick them to the side of the road, fire them. And, of course, Forrest Gump said you can't fix stupid. But, give us a call because your wife is going to do very, very well. But, again, you, Glenn, and everybody else in the household, including the dog and the cat and the bird and the fish and mother-in-law and anybody living in the house, got to be gluten-free. And one healthy Start Pack per month and 2 bottles of the de-stress capsules. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Germany. And Gottfried, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Gottfried, you're on the air.
Hey, Dr. Wallach, thank you very much for saving people's life. I'm calling on behalf of my German downline. If we can help him, he's been on the product for the past 9 months. And his blood sugar is just like a yo-yo. It will not decrease. And he has high blood pressure as well. That also will not decrease. He's just worried that nothing is working for him.
Okay.
How can we help him?
Does he have any skin problems or respiratory problems?
Now, I spent this weekend with him to check whether it's gluten or anything. Is debt-free gluten for the past 6 months and over.
Okay. Well, if somebody is taking this program properly for their body weight, for high blood pressure, diabetes, that sort of stuff, and they aren't seeing results, there's only 2 possibilities. 1, they're underdosing, or number 2, they are not absorbing. Number 3 could be you're not absorbing and underdosing. Very bad situation there. So you say this guy weighs how much?
160.
160. Okay, Charlotte, what would you do for this guy?
Well, he needs two healthy. What has he got? Diabetes? He does. Yeah, I would give him 2 healthy. He's got diabetes. I give him 2 healthy blood sugar packs.
And what would you give him for the high blood pressure?
Ultimate Daily. He needs Ultimate Daily.
Okay. Yeah, I'd give him. I'd go up a little bit on the dosage. Godfrey, I'd go ahead and give him 3 of the Ultimate Daily tablets 3 times a day, 3 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That'll be 2 bottles a month. 2 healthy blood sugar packs for all the fatigue and all that kind of stuff. Give him drop-dead gluten-free. Everybody in the household, including the spouse, the mother-in-law, dog, cat, sheep, horse, pig, bird, fish. Everybody's got to be gluten-free. And just go up on the dosage. He's not absorbing or he's underdosing, one or the other. We'll be back after these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Young Junior and 95 Crusade. And Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Canada. And Ann, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, Ann, you're on the air.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How can I help you?
Okay, we are on the basic health product that you sent us, basic the Mighty 90s.
Okay.
And you had mentioned, we watched you on Benny Hinn the other day, and you had mentioned about a certain tonic that kills arthritis in, say, 3 weeks to a month. And we were wondering, is that the Healthy Pig Pack, or what is it exactly?
Are you talking about rheumatoid arthritis?
Yes.
Okay, well, rheumatoid arthritis is actually an infection with a bug called mycoplasma. And this bug, mycoplasma, is very, very susceptible to an antibiotic called minocycline, like the bait fish, minocycline. It's a member of the tetracycline family. You can kill it in 2 weeks. I don't care if you've had rheumatoid arthritis for 25 years. We also like to use a blend of herbs. We call it killer biotic. This blend of 8 herbs will support your immune system, so help your body attack this bug, this mycoplasma, as well as several of the herbs in there will actually have antimicrobial properties and kill bacteria, fungus, and yeast. Then, of course, you have to deal with all the damage that's been wrought on the cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, and bones, and so forth. This is where the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack comes in. And so for rheumatoid arthritis, we like to use the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, 1 per 100 pounds of body weight minimum. For 100 pounds, 1 Healthy Bone and Joint Pack and an extra bottle of Osteo FX Plus. So you have 2 ounces of the Osteo a day, 1 at breakfast, 1 at dinner. Get a second bottle of the Glucogel, so you can have 15 a day, 5 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And use either the minocycline, which is a prescription for 2 weeks, or the killer biotic. Usually takes about 30 to 60 days to get the desired effect. In some cases, you might want to use both just for kind of, an extra kick in there. And it's going to take 60, 90 days to significantly show dramatic improvement in the degenerative disease that's been produced by the chronic infection with mycoplasma. This would also work without the antibiotics and without the killer biotic for bone-to-bone arthritis. The same Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. It gives the raw materials to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone matrix, and bone itself. And then, how long do you have to keep using this? Well, once you get to where you want to be, you don't want to quit. What you want to do is, if you weigh the same, you want to keep using the same amount just to maintain. Obviously, you keep oil in your car for the length of the time you have your car to preemptively preventive maintenance to protect your car, and the same thing. Once you get rid of your rheumatoid arthritis, and of course medical doctors will say you can't regrow cartilage. Rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease, or genetic disease is autoimmune, and they want you to believe that there's nothing you can do about it. Now, Shar? Hello, Shar? Yep.
I'm here.
Have you seen anybody become rheumatoid arthritis free?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Donna from Fort Wayne had it for 10 years, and she got rid of it in a week.
Yeah. What about that gal up in Alaska, had it for 23 years.
Yep. Completely straightened her hands, her fingers straightened out, and she's perfectly normal.
Yeah, she couldn't, she was so gnarled up, she looked like a pretzel. And it took her a good year because she was terribly gnarled up. It took her a year on the program to get completely normal, but then now she can play the piano. It's amazing stuff. And we do this literally thousands of times a year with bone-to-bone arthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. So that's kind of the secret sauce, is the minocycline, which kills the mycoplasma bug, or the killer biotic, which, again, supports your immune system as well as has antimicrobial properties. Now, we have, what if you also had high blood pressure? You don't need to take the Healthy Heart and Brain Pack. You just throw in the Ultimate Daily Tablets. If you have diabetes, you don't need to take in the whole blood sugar pack. You just throw in the sweeties. It's an amazing process. Thank you, Char. Super job. Thank you so much, Doug and Susan. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.